All right. And I say that to project because of what's going down today. Welcome back to Suggestion Session. I'm nervous about this one, man. I really am. I'm getting to the Hamilton soundtrack right here, right now. So a lot of people have been asking for like musical soundtracks and musical stuff. I gotta be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of musicals. Like, there's maybe like 4 musicals I've liked in my lifetime, and Hairspray is in there. A little bit of Bye Bye Birdie, maybe Sound of Music, and probably is The Wizard of Oz a musical? I don't know. But anyways, I'm not really big on musicals. It's not really my thing. Dreamgirls, I don't know if you would count Dreamgirls as a musical. I also grew up on High School Musical, so I've said musical a lot. Anyways, yeah, I'm not big on musicals. It has to be a certain. There has to be just something to draw me to want to watch it at all. Because just breaking into song every 2 minutes, like that was, I think, my issue with West Side Story. Every other scene was a song, and I was just like, people don't sing like this in real life. I'm worried that I'm not gonna like this only because I'm not seeing the play. And I know, context has been the main issue with me and a whole bunch of other fan bases on here, but with this, I think it's definitely more important than production. Like, I feel like I need to see this being played out, because I only know a tidbit about what the play is about. I know it's about Alexander Hamilton. I'm looking at some of the editor notes, and I researched it a little bit, but like, it just wasn't clear to me, so I don't know. I really don't know. I've only heard 2 songs on here, and it came out in one of the best years of music ever, 2015, so that's a positive. It's a major positive. I don't know, man. I'm hoping for the best. Open heart, open ears, open mind with everything. It's just, I really, really feel like I need the context. I really feel like I need the scenes to really get into it. But nonetheless, you asked for it, so here it is. So let's jump into it. This is the Hamilton soundtrack from the cast of Hamilton. Part 1, number 1, Alexander Hamilton.
How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, Providence impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a. They placed him in charge of a trading charter.
And every day while slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the waves, he struggled and kept his guard up.
His future dripping down the drain. Put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain.
Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait.
Alex and his mother bedridden, half dead, sitting in their own sick, the scent thick. And Alex got better, but his mother went quick.
Living with a cousin committed suicide. What to do for someone that's astute? He would have been dead or destitute without a cent or restitution. Started working, clerking for his late mother's landlord.
In New York, you can be a new man.
Just you
Alexander Hamilton.
See, it's funny because I used to do this. I was a theater kid. Still kind of am, but I don't know, man. I know it's only one song. I'm already thinking back to like dress rehearsals and having to. I'm already thinking about all of that, and I'm just like, it's so much. It's so much. It's not bad. Again, I feel like I need to see this performed. Oh, this is gonna be a long video. Number 2, Aaron Burr, Sir.
1776. New York City.
I heard your name at Princeton. I was seeking an accelerated course of study when I got sort of out of sorts with a buddy of yours. What you did, graduating too and join the revolution. He looked at me like I was stupid. I'm not stupid. So how'd you do it? How'd you graduate so fast? I'm an orphan. God, I wish there was a war. Then we could prove that we're worth more than anyone bargained for.
Can I buy you a drink? Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for.
You can't be serious.
You wanna get ahead.
See, man, you gotta understand. For me, like, this is really like listening to a lot of interludes as an album. You know what I mean? Like, if the whole album was intros, interludes, and outros. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting because I'm not seeing this played out. I just feel like this can't exist as a soundtrack. I feel like, you know, if you've seen the play and you love the play and you want to hear the songs again, you want to act out the songs, I feel like that would be cool. And I feel like that's why I'm really having a hard time getting into it because it's so very vague to me. My mom saw it and said she loved it. Everybody that I know that has seen it said it was great. But I feel like just audio alone, it doesn't carry unless you know what everything's about. Unless you know, I feel like it doesn't resonate. And I'm not even trying to just check out or, you know, what I'm sure people are gonna think, but I'm not even trying to do all that. Like, I'm listening to it, but like I'm trying to picture it. But the problem is there's already a way for it to be done. Like, it's a Broadway show, so I don't know, man. I just feel like because they're obviously acting while performing, it just doesn't carry across well as a song. Like, it's a performance. They're performing. They're doing the words from the song. Like, this is part of the act. It's just, I don't know if it works just audio alone. For me, only because, you know, I know how theater's supposed to run. Like, I know that you're supposed to pay attention to every detail when it comes to the show. So, like, I don't know. It's not, you know, I don't even want to come about it like a regular album. Like, I that's how I kind of approached the Logic project. I was like, this isn't a regular album, you know, this is a soundtrack for a book. And there are songs on there that work without context, but there were songs on there that I felt that really needed context. I was like, why is this man dead by the bridge? Why are you looking for help? Like, who is this song about? Like, too many questions. And so, like, I don't know. I really want to get into it. And, you know, the next song, My Shot, I didn't like when I heard it. I didn't like the delivery of the song, and I can't even comment about the beat because, you know, it's not a regular song. It's a theatric song. So, you know, and I know somebody that, you know, probably saw a Set It Off video is going to be like, well, why aren't you commenting about the theatrics on this one? Because it's obvious. This is a Broadway play. The theatrics are bound to happen. That's kind of a hindrance because of exactly what I'm talking about right now. I feel like because I'm not watching them act this out and I'm not seeing, you know, the scenes and everything being moved around, I just feel like I can't fully grasp or get into it. Like, I like to immerse myself in everything I listen to or anything I decide to give time to. And so, like, it's just really bothersome that, one, I haven't seen it, and, you know, I don't know if I ever can see it because I don't even know if it's still running anymore, but it's bothersome because I want to get into it because, you know, even though I'm not big on musicals, I loved seeing how people reacted to the numbers. Like, doing musicals, oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down. Boom, you hit the mark, everybody cheers and goes crazy. Then you wait for your next part. You know, doing We Love You, Conrad, and all of those shows and Bye Bye Birdie and stuff. You know, that was really fun stuff to do. And it was fun just making moments for the audience. So I feel like because I don't see this in front of me right now, it's 10 times harder for me to get into it. I'm still optimistic though. I just really don't know how this is gonna go, and I don't know like what's the difference between this and the mixtape. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I'll play the next song for a little bit, and then I'll go into the next one. Number 3, My Shot. Like I said, I heard this one already. I had to play it at a party a long time ago. And this was where I was like, this is what everybody was talking about, because like I just, not for me. Not this track in particular. Just really wasn't for me. Maybe after I see the play and then I listen to the soundtrack afterwards, I'll feel different. But if this is your jam, here's a little bit of it for you.
I am not throwing away my shot. And yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. Power of speech, unimpeachable. Only 19, but
4, The Story of Tonight.
Children tell our story.
And when our children tell our story,
They'll tell the story of tonight.
something they can never take away, no matter what they tell you. The story
I
of
wish I could see them in the wigs and stuff.
tomorrow there'll be more of us telling the story of tonight. Let's have that mommy around tonight.
Okay. Nice little bridge after, 3 straight numbers. But I'm wondering, like, what the dialogue was now. See, now I'm thinking of it as a musical. And it's funny because, like, even with stuff like Wicked and Rent, like, I really only knew the big numbers from it, I'm flying high, and I'm defying gravity or something. And then, of course, Seasons of Love. I've had to sing that song numerous times. I like that one, though. I think that was nice. I like the harmonies. I like the composition of the song, like the way that it was all put together. I feel like I could see how that one played out on stage. I feel like they all got together and they were at a bar or something. You got everybody acting like they're speaking in the background and stuff. Nice little transitional record. I like that one. Okay, number 5, the Schuler Sisters. I think that's how you say it. The Schuler or I'm pretty sure it's Schuler. This was the other song that I had to play at that party that I did ages ago. And again, I was like, I mean, this is okay. This is alright. Not my cup of tea, but as long as y'all are dancing, that's all that matters. So again, if this is your jam, like my shot, or if anything else on here is your jam, well, you don't hear it, but I've already heard this one, so this is what I usually do. So if you haven't heard this, or if you already know this song, and this is your favorite song, here's a little bit of it for you.
There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. Daughters, Peggy, Angelica, Eliza, sneaking to the city just to watch all the guys.
Angelica, the Skylar sisters. Angelica,
Oh,
Peggy,
Skylar.
Eliza.
I apologize, it's Skylar. I haven't heard this song for a couple years, y'all, let me tell you.
Downtown. Work. It's bad enough that he wants to go to war.
Number 6, Farmer Refuted.
Free thoughts on the proceedings of the Continental Congress. Heed not the rebels. Revolution.
Who's this?
Have not your interest at heart.
God, tear this dude
Not a solution. Don't let them lead you astray. This
Okay.
They're playing a dangerous game.
Come through, vibrato.
Pray the king shows you his mercy.
You all unravel at the sound of screams, but the revolution is coming. The have-nots are gonna win. Just you lost and you talk
This
about
Congress does not speak
My
for
God
me.
speaks more eloquently
They're
than me.
playing a dangerous.
Again, I'm gonna scream. Honestly, look at me. Please don't read.
Not your interest.
Don't modulate the key, then not debate with me. It's a T. Silence.
A message from the king. A message from the king.
I loved whoever was doing the voice of the squire at the beginning, with the medieval soundtrack in the background. That was dope. I like that. Number 7, You'll Be Back.
You say the price of my love is not a price that you're willing to pay. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You remember you belong to me. Comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da.
Okay.
You'll be the one complaining when no, don't change the subject. 'Cause you're my favorite subject.
Again, this is another case of I feel like this would be 10 times stronger if I saw all of the stuff that was going on. Like, he probably ran across the stage when the piano had that little key run with the I feel like because I just feel like I just really feel like I'm really not getting the full experience. Like, the singing is great. The bars are I mean, the rhymes are great. It's different. There's a difference between putting bars together and putting rhymes together. Like, when someone's like, "Oh, you got bars," like you have concepts, you have wordplay, you have metaphors. You know, you've got more than just delivery with rhymes. That's for me. That's what putting rhymes together is. When you just say a bunch of stuff that rhymes, and there's kind of, you know, no pun intended, but like there's no rhyme or reason to it. But like when there's no real like coalition to the rhymes, you're just rhyming because it rhymes. And a lot of artists do this now, but when it doesn't really like connect, like when the verses don't connect, or you know, when the words are just there to rhyme and there's nothing else behind it, you know, that's just putting rhymes together in my book. And having bars and saying, yo, you drop bars, like that's after, you know, hearing punchlines left and right and concepts in your metaphors and syncing up similes. Like the art of rap is very underrated. I feel like people really don't know what really goes into putting words together to make sense with rhymes. And I'm not saying this doesn't make sense with the rhymes. I'm just saying it feels more like, you know, they said, yo, let's throw some hip hop in history and we're gonna go off of that. And that's not bad at all. That's probably, you know, why it was so successful, because, you know, it's very unorthodox and hasn't been done before. I just really feel like I'm missing the full point. I feel like I'm missing the whole picture, you know, like I only feel like I'm getting a glimpse. And that makes me sad, only because I know this is such a beloved thing. I know this is something that's been requested forever, but like I just feel like I'm not getting the full. I feel like I'm not seeing this the way I need to be seeing it. And number 8, Right Hand Man.
Here he comes.
Here comes the general. Ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the general. The moment you've been waiting for. Here comes the general. Outnumbered, outplanned. You gotta make an all-out stand. Hey yo, I'm gonna need a right-hand man. I'm the model of a modern major general, the venerated Virginian veteran whose men are all lining up to put me up on a pedestal, writing letters to relatives, embellishing my elegance. And as the British take Brooklyn, like takes Rook, but look, we are outdone, outmanned. Not as grand as Hamilton won't abandon ship, yo, let's steal their cannon. Goes the cannon, watch the blood in the shit spray, and goes the cannon, we're abandoning Kip's Bay.
Like I said, man, the rhymes are there. Like they're putting words together really, really well. The concept of the song is really, really dope. I think they captured the whole feeling of a war pretty well. This is just another song that, you know, I think I'm gonna stop saying it after this song, but it's another song I definitely need the scene for. Like I knew about the play, and I knew, you know, there were a lot of names in it that were great, and you know they dissed Mike Pence, which was awesome. But I just feel like, especially with this kind of musical, it has to be seen. Especially for somebody that already isn't too big of a fan of musicals. I feel like this has to be seen to be engaging. And I'm not even trying to say that, you know, what they're doing isn't interesting. I'm not trying to say that at all. It's just, you know, with how hard they're delivering these vocals right now, I just feel like only reason I don't feel it and the only reason I'm not like passionate about it is because I'm not seeing it played out. I'm not watching them do this. I'm not watching the cannons go crazy, you know. Number 9, A Winter's Ball.
Orphan, son of a whore, go on and on, grow into more of a phenomenon. Not right. Now Hamilton's skill with the quill is undeniable, but what do we have in common? We're reliable with the ladies. There are so many to deflower. 1980, A Winter's Ball, and the Schuyler sisters are the envy of all. Hey,
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 hey.
hey, hey.
Transition.
Hey.
Nice transition though. Number 10, Helpless.
Before the count and I'm drowning in 'em. I have never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. change your life. Because she wants to form a harem.
I'm just saying, if you really love me, you would share 'em.
Ha! 2 weeks later in the living room stressing. The father soon.
All right, I like that one. That reminded me of the Patience track from Dreamgirls, which was just, whoo, they killed that. They killed Nika Noni Rose, Eddie Murphy, Keith Richards, like they killed that song. So I definitely, so yeah, I guess Dreamgirls is definitely a musical. I just always saw it as a movie that just had the best music in it, but it definitely is a musical. Like that was also on Broadway, so that's on me for being stupid, but. Yeah, I definitely loved every number in Dreamgirls. Like, I remember, like, the original is great, don't get me wrong, but the remake with Jamie Foxx, Eddie Murphy, Beyonce, Nika Noni Rose, Jennifer Hudson, just everybody in that, just, they killed it. I mean, so, I feel like that's always been my standard, and just, like, everything in that film was great. But also, you know, key thing with Dreamgirls, I saw it in theaters, and then I wanted to buy the soundtrack. I didn't do it the other way around. So again, it just all boils back to that. But I did like this. I did like this a lot. This was really good. Number 11, Satisfied. That's interesting.
I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. I remember those soldier boys took it over themselves to win our praise. I remember that dream like candlelight, like a dream that you can't quite place. Dang, they said more heart aflame, every heart aflame. This is not a game.
You strike me as a woman who has never been satisfied. Alexander Hamilton.
Where's your family from?
Unimportant, there's a million things I haven't done.
2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything we said in total agreement. It's a dream and it's a bit of a dance. A bit of a posture, it's a bit of a stance. He's a bit of a flirt, but I'ma give it a chance. And I know she is helpless.
I like that. I don't really like the delivery with the rap too much. But again, I feel like I would feel different if I was watching it. And, you know, just, I mean, up until the 9 in the mind and the 9, like, up until that part, it was riding for me. I really liked the switch in pace. Haven't heard anything like that so far in the soundtrack. For them to switch up their rhythm and their cadence like that, I thought that was really, really dope. And I like that one a lot. Again, I'm really not crazy about the delivery of the raps. It kind of like a lot. Yo, man, this one I'm talking about. Yo, like that feels so Disney Channel, so Nickelodeon, and I get it because they're acting. Like it's supposed to be extra. Trust me, trust and believe. Because you know, I tried to explain this with the John Bellion fans, but they'll forever hate me, which is fine. It's completely fine. But I trust and believe. I know that they're acting. I know it. I mean, I know this is a play. It's the original Broadway cast. Like, I'm not discrediting that at all. I'm trying to put y'all in my shoes of listening to this for the first time and not having seen anything about it. The only time I saw, like, the costumes in the play is when they were pointing at Mike Pence and telling him what kind of person he was. I'm just trying to put y'all where I'm at right now. Like, doing something for just the song for the sake of the song is very different than doing something for a performance, and I just feel like that's what's gonna get lost in this video. I feel like people think I'm just hating or, you know, writing it off just because, you know, it's not typical or it's not, you know, standard regular music or standard hip hop or whatever, or pop for that matter. But like I told you, like I love the numbers in Dreamgirls. I love the numbers in The Music Man. I love the numbers in Bye Bye Birdie. But also with that, I've done these musicals. I've performed in musicals, and I only listen to the songs when I'm practicing for the musical or, you know, dress rehearsals, this, that, and the third. I don't listen to these songs on my iPod. Like, I don't have Seasons of Love in my library. I don't listen to it. I don't go, oh, you know what I want to hear? Yo, throw that Seasons of Love on right now. That's not me. I wasn't that theater kid. Like, when it came to performing, I killed it. Tell me what it be, I got you. I hit my spot, I know my lines, let's do it. But I didn't go home listening to One Short Day in the Emerald City. Like, Only reason I know that, I had to practice it day in and day out for weeks on end. I never wanted to hear the song again. Up until I had to perform it. One short day in the Emerald City. Like, only when I had to do it is when I did it. So, like, right after we got done with it, I was like, don't ever play that again. But again, like, Satisfied was dope. Helpless was dope. But, I just know somebody is going to be, like, supremely offended. And I'm not going to know what to say. Like, really, though. Because, again, nothing they're doing is bad. Nothing. You know, the delivery is a bit much, sure. But, again, it's because they're acting. They're performing. So because this is like if I was watching the play as a stage crew member. Like if I'm back there waiting for my cue, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm going to hear all the fun and hear everything that's going on outside, and I'm not going to be able to join in. So automatically I'm not going to engage. And this is kind of like that. Like I'm basically just hearing what I'm supposed to be seeing. And that's, you know, it's hard to try to convey that. So, you know, more than anything, I'm just sad that I'm not fully engaged because of the biggest stipulation. But that song was good. I liked it. Wasn't crazy about the rap, but it was good. Number 12, The Story of Tonight, reprise. They brought it back.
I may not live to see our glow, but I've seen wonders great as I've seen wonders great as who tells you. Let's have another round tonight. There's a glass to the hangers here.
You are the worst, but...
Ignore them. Congrats to you, Lieutenant Colonel. I wish I had your command instead of man in George's journal. Is that so?
What are you trying to hide, Bird? I should go.
No, these guys should go.
No,
Leave us alone.
man.
I also want to point out that this whole Burr, Sir rhyme scheme that they keep doing, fine, Burr. Never mind, Burr. All the time, Burr. Nicki Minaj did this on a song with Future called Sir. Like every other song, every other bar was finished with Sir, and everybody was mad at her for that. You can't praise this and then hate on that in the same breath. It's the same rhyme scheme. Burr and Sir both rhyme. So yeah, rhyme, Sir. In the line, Sir. Porcupine, Sir. Like you can't. I don't know. I just don't like that people don't keep that same energy. If you don't like one rhyme scheme for somebody, you got to call that out on everybody. Number 13, wait for it. This is pretty sick. I like this. Ooh. Say what? Say what?
There's a reason on my side. So many you tried. My grandfather was a fire and
Now see, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Took 13 tracks, but hey. This is nice. Oh. This feels like it could be on the radio. Granted, it sounds a little dated. It sounds, you know, a little 2002 maybe, but I like it. It's got a nice little vibe to it. It's got a nice pop R&B feel, a little bit of reggae feel. I like this. Plus, you know, Leslie Odom is a great singer, but I like this one. This is the first song that I've really felt out of the whole thing. This one feels like it can work without the play. It really does. I feel like if he was to release this, I think it would work. I think he could really call this a single of his and it would do well. I really do. Yeah. Come on. You better sing. You better sing. I like that one. Y'all got one with that one. Even when the theatrical part of the song kicked in, it still fitted. It still worked. It didn't take me out of the song. Like I felt like it was part of the single. Like I really do. Like the intro of it was great. The singing was phenomenal. Like and again, I have to keep saying this because people just love to just jump down my throat for no reason. Pause. The singing has been great from start to finish. The rapping has been cool from start to finish. Certain parts it's better than others, but I like that this song just really felt like a song. Like, I wonder where in the now I'm wondering where in the play this fits, as opposed to me wondering for the last 12 songs, okay, how does this song work for the play? This time it's reversed. I'm like, wait, this feels like a regular song. This feels like a regular song that I could hear on the radio, I could see being performed somewhere. For everything else, I was wondering, what was happening in the play and why this was a part of the scene. And, I needed, for everything else, I needed a scene. For everything else, I needed to know what was happening on the stage. But for this one, I could just listen to and enjoy. So, very refreshing. That's definitely my favorite so far. Number 14, Stay Alive.
Eating our horses. Local merchants deny us equipment, assistance. They only take British money, so sing a song of sixpence.
Their troops take flight.
Make it impossible to justify the cost of the fight.
Outrun, outlast.
Every day, sir, entrust me with a command. And every day,
No.
he dismisses me out of hand. Instead of me, he promotes Charles Lee, makes him second in command. Put a gun with he shits the bed at the Battle of Monmouth. Everyone attack! Retreat! Attack! Retreat! What are you doing? Lee, get back on your feet!
Fayette, take the lead.
Yes, sir.
1,000 soldiers die in 100-degree heat as we snatch a stalemate from the jaws of defeat.
Okay. Number 15, the 10 Dual Commandments. I have a strong suspicion that this is going to mirror Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments. Let me just listen to it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 dual
Of
commandments.
course.
It's the 10 dual commandments. Number 1, the challenge, demand satisfaction. Second,
Your lieutenant, when there's reckoning to be reckoned.
number 3, have your seconds meet face to face.
For your next of kin, tell them where you've been. Pray that hell or heaven lets you in.
Salad, confess your sins, ready for the moment of adrenaline.
Count
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10, places fire.
Number 16, Meet Me Inside.
yield.
Shot him in the side, yes he yields. I'm satisfied, we gotta clear the field.
Yo, we won.
Here comes the general. This should be fun, but believe me, these young men don't speak for me. Thank you for your service. Let's ride, son.
Don't call me son.
This war is hard enough without infighting.
Lee called you out. We called us
You
bluff.
solve nothing.
I don't have your titles. I don't have your land. But if you know, if you gave me command of a battalion, a group of men to lead, I could fly above my station.
That's an order from your commander.
Sir.
Go home.
I don't want to say it again, but you already know what I'm getting at. That'd be really cool to see played out. I feel like that would be the only setting where, like, that would really get the emotion that I know that they're going for with the performance, because the performance sounds very passionate. Number 17, That Would Be Enough.
Look around, look around.
How long have you known?
I knew you'd fight until the war was
War's
won.
not done.
But you deserve a chance to meet your son, your wife. Look around, look around.
That's beautiful.
Look at where you are.
Again, this works as an interlude. This works as a transition for the soundtrack. I feel like, we're going into another act or so. Maybe the story of tonight works as those breaks between the acts too. I don't know, but that was pretty. I liked their voices. I liked how they played off of each other in that song. Really wish I could see the scene, but yeah. I think the piano was absolutely gorgeous. I think that's what really made it fly. The strings in the back were great too, but shout out to the piano. Whoever is doing the music, shout out. For the ballads. The music for the ballads. I'm not crazy about the other stuff. It's very, very PBS-like hip-hop, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like Magic School Bus type rap. You know, like, and that's not even to be nitpicky or anything. It's just that's what it gives off because it's so theatric. It's giving off a very G-rated feel because it's so theatric, and you know, I know that's not the intention. It's just that's how it's kind of coming off because there's so much acting in the bars, and you know, it kind of takes me out of it because it just feels like they're trying so hard to be lyricists. And I know they're not. And I know this is all part of the show. I know this is part of the soundtrack. I know this is all part of the intention behind the inspiration for the characters and what they're doing. It's just listening to it as a song alone, that's how it feels. That's how it comes off. But I know that's not the case. And I know I've said this a bunch of times. I just feel like I have to keep repeating myself since so many people either don't watch all the way or don't hear what I have to say and just want to leave stuff and act like I just come on here to talk for likes and retweets and just attention. I mean, that's not the case at all. I wouldn't still be doing this channel if I didn't take anything I listen to seriously. So feel how you feel, but that's how I feel. Number 18, Guns and Ships.
Betsy Ross's flag higher. Yo, turns out we have a secret weapon, an immigrant. You know in love who's unafraid to step in.
So he knows what to do in the trench, ingenuitive and fluid in French. I mean, so you're gonna have to use him eventually. What's he gonna do in the bench? I mean,
right now, together we can turn the tide. Oh, Alexander Hamilton, get this right. They'll surrender by early light. The world be the same, Alexander.
So I feel like that's kind of the break in the soundtrack that either the reprise is where the new act begins or the new scene, like the starting point for every new part of the play. I feel like that's kind of like what they reel or what they use. I feel like that's what they use to reel people back into, you know, the next part of what they're about to see. Because it's a cool little callback to the way that it starts. You know, that's exactly how every new scene has been set up. So that's cool. I like the intent that goes into everything. I really do. I mean, you know, I really just adore acting. I love connecting with audiences, whether it be on a stage or a screen. Because the setup is so consistent, that's something that's really working for it, you know. As a soundtrack, just listening to it. Like, especially if you know what's going on, if you know the play, if you've seen the play, and, you know, if you adore everything about this and listening to it back, you're probably playing out the whole play in your head, you know. So, you know, I feel like it's doing its job, you know. The songs are very catchy. Everything is performed really, really well. You know, the production may be questionable, but it's theatric, so you can't really complain too much about it. Like, you know, I said how I feel about it, but like, you know, I'm not gonna spend any more time just production here, but I don't know about that, because it's not an album. It's not regular music. It's theatrical. It's for stage purposes. So it's a different degree. Now, if they were using like Migos beats and stuff, that would be something crazy. I'd be like, yo, like, I really see what y'all going for. But, you know, they did it 100% original, and I like that. So, you know, while I really do need the play to really get into it, they're doing a good job. Number 19, History Has Its Eyes on You.
I was younger than you are now, when I was given my first command. Stay, and felt the shame rise in me, and even now I control who lives, who dies, who tells your story.
That was nice.
Can win.
Okay, so I feel like this is another interlude like thing, another transition. But it's good. It's nice. The vocals were really, really dope. The harmonies are great. Like I said, all around they've been doing a really good job. So nothing else to say other than nice transitional track. Number 20, Yorktown, The World Turned Upside Down.
1781.
Monsieur Hamilton,
Monsieur Lafayette,
in command where you belong.
are you saying no sweat?
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. This is where it gets me. On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, we gotta go, gotta get the job done. Got a story.
Well, that violin in the back was crazy.
The bullets have to run. The bullets have to run. Redefining bravery. We'll never be free until we end slavery. When we finally drive the British away.
I gotta salute the trope right there. If you're a hip hop head, you'll recognize that scratching anywhere.
That it's over, we tend to our wounded, we count our dead.
Black and white soldiers wonder alike if this really means freedom.
Not yet.
Alright, so I remember this from my history textbooks, even though I've been out of school for quite some time now. I remember this. I remember reading about all of this. So, you know, this is kind of where I don't really need the portrayal on stage. You know, I can go back to some of what my fading memory recollects. But, yeah, I didn't really care for the My Shot reprise in that, but I thought the accents were really great. This one also felt like I needed the scene, but I liked that it had a little bit more of a groove to it. Like the bass line was dope, the violins were crazy. Like the musicality of this one was really, really beautifully done. More so beautifully executed than a couple other songs, I would say, but I like that one. That one was pretty cool. Coming up on the last bit of part 1, number 21, what comes next?
Not a price that they're willing to pay. Insane. Mine to subdue. Well, even despite our estrangement, I've got a small query for you.
Beautiful tone, wow.
Empires fall, it's much harder when it's on your call. All alone, across the sea to me. Da, 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 da.
There he goes again. Hey man, it was cute. Another transitional song, another interlude type thing. It was funny. I liked it. Number 22, Dear Theodosia.
Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes.
I like the soft tone of the vocals on this one. This is nice.
Was never quite my style. We'll come of age with our young nation. We'll bleed and fight for you. Someday, someday.
It's pretty as hell. Wow.
No. Philip, you outshine the morning sun. I swear that I'll be around for you.
Ooh, harmony.
Whatever it takes.
I'll make a million mistakes.
That has such a Hey There Delilah feel to it, and that's not even my favorite song. Like that was my homie Saul's favorite song. Shout out to the homie. That was his favorite song, but that never was my favorite song. Absolutely beautiful. That is the second song that I feel like I don't need to play for, and I really love that there's a couple songs on here that feel like, you know, additions. I feel like, you know, they're not part of the play, but they're songs that, you know, the chemistry was so strong that they were like, yeah, let's make something extra and just throw it on the soundtrack. I don't even know if that's in the play. It might, because they're talking about their children and stuff, but beautifully done, beautifully sung, all that. I loved it. And finally, number 23, Nonstop. I just flipped the switch. Flip. Sorry. That's my personal favorite Nonstop track.
Back to New York.
After the war, I went back to New York.
I finished up my studies and the man is non-stop.
Gentlemen of the jury, I'm curious, bear with me. Are you aware that we're making history?
Smartest in the room. Why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? Why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? Assume that attitude, mate.
These colonies, economies, increasingly stalling in honesty. That's why public service seems to be calling me. I practice the law, practically perfected. We studied and we fought and we killed for the notion of a nation we now get to build. For once in your life, take a stand with pride.
My chest I'll wait here and see which way the wind will blow. I'm taking my time. In the end, they wrote 85 essays in the span of 6 months. John Jay got sick after writing 5. James Madison wrote 29. Hamilton wrote the other 51. How do you write like you're running out of time? Every second you're alive, every second you're alive, every second you're alive. They're asking me to leave.
Treasury.
Let's go.
Alexander.
I have to leave.
Alexander.
They are asking me to leave.
Look around. Isn't this enough? He will never be satisfied.
History has
History has its eyes on you.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Hamilton, just you wait.
I am not throwing away my shot.
I love the swell at the end of all of the songs, the way that they brought it back to the beginning, the way that they brought in other songs before that. Again, a cast ensemble is always the best part of everything because you love seeing all the choreography and everybody just out there belting their hearts out and performing, and then they hit that moment and then you wait for the applause. We got 23 more. Alright. Initial thoughts, a lot better than I was expecting. Most musicals are a lot. Some are a little more extra than others, sure, but some of the dialogue I think is delivered with the right amount of extra in here. Again, I'm not crazy about the rapping. I'm not crazy about the hip hop-esque beats, but I feel like the originality of it and just the individuality of the whole thing is really cool. Plus, the idea is dope. So, I mean, I didn't love everything on here, but there's still a lot to like on here. And again, like I've said it too many times in the video already, but I feel like if I was to see this, it would be 10 times more enjoyable. And, you know, it's still good right now, audio only. But like I said, I definitely feel like I'm not getting the full experience. I feel like I'm seeing this very 40% right now. Like, I feel like the recording and everything that went into making this sound as crisp as it does definitely counts as part of what made this such a phenomenon. But that entire other 60% is everything that's on that stage. So, I mean, if it ever comes to DVD or if it becomes streamable or... I don't know, man, because, you know, nobody does anything with physicals anymore. Everybody just wants everything on the internet and everything digital. But alone and on its own, I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't have an issue with it at all. I think it's cool. You know, like I said, I really wish I was watching it so that I could feel differently about listening to it just as songs. But, you know, I feel like the personal experiences I shared about how I felt about musicals and how I've gone about musical performances and, you know, listening to songs from musicals just by themselves in the past, I feel like I gave a little bit of insight on that because of, you know, my background about that. So, you know, part one was, it was very long to get through, but I don't know. I'm not apprehensive about going into Act 2, or Part 2, rather. It's just that's going to be the one thing that bothers me the most about it. You know, I didn't enjoy a lot of songs, but I did enjoy a couple songs. So, I mean, like, I'm very mixed on it. I'm not, you know, I don't think I'll put a disclaimer in here. I mean, disclaimers are really only for, you know, when I really don't like anything. Well, that's the warning, actually. The warning I put is for when it's just, you know, bad from start to finish. But this was not bad at all. It's just because I'm not seeing it acted out in front of me, I can't really engage. I can't really get with it, which is why I was so happy with Wait For It and Dear Theodosia. I like that those really just felt like songs that could just be singles. And that's not to say make more of that for Part 2. You know, I just like that they felt like they could stand on their own without being accompanied by the play or the whole soundtrack from the play. So, yeah, this was long, but for the part that I did enjoy, I hope that kind of resonates more with me going into Part 2. So, I'm sorry for the wait. I'm sorry that this probably offended a whole bunch of people, but, you know, I can only keep it real on here. I can't fake anything I do, so. I mean, if you enjoyed, then great, but, you know, if you want to have a conversation, cool. If you came just to be a keyboard warrior and just type a whole bunch of crazy stuff, I don't get the, I don't have the time for that. So, feel how you feel, because this is how I feel. That's going to do it for part 1 of the suggestion. I will work to get to part 2 very soon. Like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. You know the biz, you know what it is. Jared O'Brien, and I'm out.